Yo, what's up, Tallahassee? We are finally back. I'm Adonis, the host of the Tallanasty podcast. I'm slightly drunk off tequila, and today I'm with my friend Ace Prodigy, who is a fellow singer and crypto investor. Ace, how are you today?
I'm doing pretty good, man.
Good. Well, with now that that's out of the way, let's play the theme song and get right to the show.
I went to the bank and I made a deposit. She wanna fuck cause she know that I'm poppin'. I'm sippin' tech and that shit got me nauseous. I spent $1 million when I was out shopping. Look at my diamonds, they be merely rockin'. McLarens and Beamers, bitch, I got some options. You tryna beef for no bread in your wallet. 100K, look at my pockets. Lately I've been getting paid. I feel like I live at the bank. Commas go up with the fame. Everyone screaming my name. Lately I've been getting paid. I feel like I live at the bank. Commas go up with the fame. Everyone screaming my name.
Just got my check, now I'm dripping in Prada. Shawty a thotty, she fucking for dollars. She for the team, I put her on the roster. I'm tryna hit it, then pass to my partner. These niggas be snaking, they change like iguanas. I cannot go nowhere without my chopper. Like Avatar, ain't they be riding with uppers. Fuck all the drama, I've been getting. My niggas get litty for sure. My diamonds, they gritty for sure. I keep it with me for sure. I drop with the stick, ain't no Disney for sure. She showing me titties for sure. All of these niggas is shitty for sure. A whole lot of money, got plenty for sure. My niggas be running the city for sure. Cribby got expansions, diamonds on me dancing, niggas cannot manage. You can get Jackson, ain't no Janet. Chopper doing damage, take him off the planet. Bitches snitching, ain't no Candace. I don't need companions, I feel like a bandit. Every day I'm grinding, bitch, I'm always working, nothing ever handed. Yeah.
Lately I've been getting paid. I feel like I live at the bank. Commas go up with the fame. Everyone screaming my name. Lately I've been getting paid. I feel like I live at the bank. Commas go up with the fame. Everyone screaming my name.
Alright, so Ace, what do you want to talk about today?
Well, honestly, I think I just want to just keep going with the conversation we had a little bit earlier about, we had some tequila, right?
Yeah.
And with a couple new friends that we met today. And it's just always interesting, just kind of seeing the vibes of everybody and how, sometimes everybody's life seems like a little bit chaotic. Or these two girls, like you told me, had ADHD. They couldn't concentrate on
Oh God, tell me about it.
It was kind of wild. It was kind of funny too. But it's I get it. It was they were really excited to go to this trip. And I guess drink a little bit more. I guess for me, I've been to this trip 75 times or 100 times. I lost count already. So
I've been there countless times.
I love this trip. I love all the spots around here. But see, I don't get ADHD about it. We were just talking about pretty much after that, they're probably just gonna go home, or they might get more alcohol. But usually, when you drink, you kind of stay up a little bit longer than 2 a.m.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I don't know how it is for you, but I can stay up really, really late, especially after I have a couple drinks. It's just kind of hard for me to fall asleep unless I'm naturally just tired, exhausted,
Now here's my thing with alcohol. Sometimes it'll get you more hyper. Other times it'll put you right to sleep. That's why they call it blacking out.
Okay, good question. Good one on that. So there's tequila and vodka. Those are my main two. For some reason, my main two. And tequila definitely hits different than vodka, right? At least for me. Maybe it's different for other people. Tequila hits me smooth. I'm more relaxed, I feel like. And vodka just makes me to energy. I'm just there jumping. You're playing some rap music out there. I'm just there just energy, just turn all the time. It's very interesting for me. I don't really drink too much dark liquor, so I can't tell you how I feel after that. Rum is alright, but I don't drink it that much. It's mainly tequila and vodka. So I kind of gauge. There's days where I'm tequila only or vodka only. Now it's not I'm an alcoholic either. I'm fucking. I do my healthy workouts and food and all that good stuff. But when I go out with friends, you're not just gonna be sober all day and just not have anything but water. I feel like that's kind of boring, you know. We were talking about like the psychology, right, of like people and a lot of the girls earlier, or like people, whether it's girls or guys in general.
Now, I will say, the girls that we were talking to earlier about their whole ADHD thing.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know them that well, so I don't know what their level of education is. But I will say that their behavior was very freshman-like. You know, when you're a freshman, you're very frantic. You're very...
Yeah, they didn't look like freshmen. I think one of them said she was like a junior or something like that. But,
they don't look like freshmen, but also keep in mind that girls age a lot faster. I mean, we have 16-year-olds that look like they're 21.
Oh, it's
literally.
Ridiculous. So, yeah. It's always good to, like, ask somebody, like, how old you are. I feel like nowadays... You know, anybody can look like they're 25, you know, with the right makeup or whatever, you feel me? So, just keep that shit in mind, you know?
I mean, this is a situation that happened to me recently where there was a girl I met at the club, and I started talking to her, and she's a yapper, you know, she's very talkative, which is something you don't find very often in girls in this city, I've noticed. So I thought to myself, oh, finally, like a girl who doesn't leave me undelivered all day, who responds back, isn't short with me, and actually wants to have a conversation. And one day I asked her, I'm like, hey, by the way, how old are you? And she goes, oh, I'm about to turn 17. How about you? I'm like, you gotta be kidding, right? She's like, no, I'm 16 years old. And I go, all right, where is that block button? Because I'm assuming she either knew somebody who owned the club or was close with the manager, or she got in with a really good fake ID. But I'm like, fuck, I finally meet a girl who seems like she's got all the personality traits that I like, and she's in fucking high school.
That's the issue with some of the clubs, right? Is that's actually, you can't really stop it, to be honest. It's an issue. That's why you gotta be, like, you know, aware, right? You gotta fucking ask and talk to them. Hey, you know, how old are you, whatever, because it goes on, whether it's here, it goes on everywhere, right? You can't stop it. That's the truth. Somebody will have a fake ID who knows somebody who lets them in, or knows a friend, right? Whether it's here, Miami, fucking Atlanta, fucking, I don't give a fuck. It's gonna happen, right? You can't stop it. I'm not gonna stop it. You're not gonna stop it. But the best thing you can do to be safe, right, is just ask them, be serious, and if they look like they're younger and they actually are, or whatever, they tell you their age, just, you know, avoid them. And just stick to, you know, people who are more mature. And sometimes you can tell if they're more mature by the way they talk and speak and everything. And that's why we were talking about, like, Township and Kushas in these spots, you know. It does tend to have more mature people, you know, to be honest. And they are very strict, you know. Good luck putting your fake in there, you know. And I feel like in those areas, to be honest, you're not going to encounter any of that bullshit, right? And and I feel like I like maturity, you know. I think it's good to, like, have more mature people around you, less bullshit, less drama to deal with, even though everybody nowadays seems like they have a storm going on in their lives, you know. It's just, you got to be perceptive, you know. Be chill, but be perceptive with who you hang with. And if you feel like the vibes aren't right after enough time, then maybe it's just not working out, you know. But if you feel like something is smooth, then go for it, you know. We were talking about a couple other things earlier.
I mean, there is one story that I think will be interesting for our viewers about the girl from last night, if you know what I'm talking about. Ace and I are good friends. We talk about all kinds of bullshit. But there's this one girl that I cut off a while ago. If you listen to my podcast, you know I will be your friend. I'm a very social person. I love hanging out with people. But if you're going to be mean to me or diss me just for the sake of it, I will cut you off and I will look at you like you're a literal ghost. Like, I will literally pretend that you are fucking dead.
Okay, yeah.
And anyway, back to, I'm going to make this story short and sweet. There's a girl that I used to talk to. And one day, I caught her and her friends making fun of me and, like, spreading rumors of me at the bar. And they didn't know that I was sitting behind them. I didn't even say anything to them. I just cut them all off. And there was one girl in that group who kept adding me back on Snapchat, and I would not accept her. One day I added her back. I'm like, hey, what do you want? She acted like nothing happened. I said, fuck you, bitch. Unadded her again. Months later, just the other night, she asked me back again. And I said, all right, what do you want? Because it seems like I can't get rid of you. And she's like, damn, you're so aggressive. Like, I just want to watch your stories. I don't know what the problem is. I'm like, okay, let me make sure that I'm actually being a reasonable person here. I'm like, you and your friends talked all sorts of shit about me. You know, you act like you're my friend to my face, but then behind my back you talk shit and spread rumors. I'm like, you're a two-faced bitch, and so are your friends. And she's like, oh, I never said that. And then she pulls out the victim cards and goes, well, you know, I've never actually met you, so I don't know what you're talking about. And that actually tripped me up because I'm thinking, you know, I meet a lot of girls at Florida State, and a lot of them look and act the same. They texted one of my friends. I'm like, hey, you know this Emily chick? Right, she works at X bar. And once he confirmed it, I'm like, okay, so I know that I'm not tripping. I'm actually thinking of the right girl. So I go back in Emily's chat. I'm like, hey, Emily, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. And I just basically went off on her. And eventually I just blocked her. And I told her, I'm like, I'm going to block you because you're a low-life, pathetic piece of shit, and I don't ever want to hear from you ever again. So.
Yeah. To be honest, I mean, if somebody doesn't treat you right, you know, the best thing you can do is just avoid them, ignore it. This goes back to what I was saying earlier, you know, before we started the podcast, is that there's 3 types of people. I saw this on a really good post. Pretty much, there's people at the bottom of the barrel, right? Not to frustrate anybody, but bottom of the barrel are people who only focus on just negativity and telling stories and gossip about one person, another, left, right, yada, yada, right? All day long. And to be honest, man, like, there's more to focus on that than just doing that all day. And that seems to be a good amount of people we interact with sometimes. So I don't let it stress me out. I don't let anybody let it stress out anybody. But that's the bottom of the barrel. You don't want any of that. Then in the middle, you have the people who really don't talk like shit about people all day, left and right? So it's a little bit better than that. They at least have something going on in their lives. But they also just follow orders and don't really question anything in life, right? That's in the middle. Think of this like a pyramid, right? And that's the majority of people actually nowadays, is where, you know, they're just kind of stable, you know, they just kind of go with the flow, make it happen, whatever. Then, you know, at the top, you have people, which is the least amount of people, right? Is the thinkers. You have the people who create. You have the people who think. You have the people who have creativity. You have the people that question things, right? Because their shit is fucked up all over, right? All over. If you really think about it and sit down, people is fucked right now more than ever before. It's actually really sad. And what I noticed is that a lot of people nowadays have it backwards, right? It's a backwards society. It's really sad. And I wish, you know, we can have more influence in a way to fix that, you know, because there's a lot to be fixed right now, and especially with his phones and technology and everything. There's a lot of false information being spread, right? So people have it backwards, where a lot, at least from like here in Tallahassee, I start to notice is that a lot of people try to like fit in or try to be like somebody else, right? Whether it's a fraternity, a sorority, a guy or a girl, right? Doesn't matter. And I feel like they have it backwards, you know. It's not about trying to be like this person or that person. I feel like you should be who you feel like you are, right? Best. And sometimes if that doesn't fit in with a certain group of people, then so be it, you know. I feel like you shouldn't sacrifice your who you are as a person to try to fit in with somebody and still not even feel like who you are, you know. And I think that's what a lot of people I've noticed around here, is that they try to fit in right? And it, it's just, it doesn't work out. You could tell when somebody's just trying really hard to do something and they don't really like it. I feel like being yourself, it doesn't matter like who you are, right? What you do, what makes you comfortable is going to attract the right people in your life. It's a very simple concept, and I think it's very misunderstood, especially in college, university, all that. Everybody's trying to fit in. Everybody's trying to, be the guy or person that gets invited to the parties, whatever, when really, you just got to be yourself and be unique and be fun and not care about what other people think about. That's a big one. I feel like a lot of people, especially when they're younger, really, really care about what people think about them. And that affects a lot of us. I mean, somebody would look at the comment section, right? And see somebody post some negative shit or some hate comment. And to be honest, you gotta thank the haters. Because if somebody's posting some hate about you and you're pursuing a career, right? Let's say it's social media, right? On IG or whatever. They're actually boosting the algorithm for you. They're getting you more reach. So low-key, they are helping you out. But you can't let comments, whether it's in person or through a digital screen, affect you. You really can't. Because that's going to be a downfall, bro. People are always going to talk. I've realized this. Doesn't matter what you do in life. There's always going to be conversation, whether it's positive or negative.
I know Ace and I, we're very similar in some ways and very different in others. And, one thing I was telling you earlier is that one thing that I know for a fact differentiates me from me and what I like to call the fakers here in the city is, say you, and I'm going to talk about you personally, you might be nice to my face, but then you talk shit about me behind my back, as a majority of our society does, unfortunately.
It's very tricky because, I know what you're telling me, but since I'm not that type of person, it's like I can't imagine myself being such a fucking clown, to be honest, because I have a lot of shit to worry about and goals I gotta achieve, right? Just like a lot of people should be, to just be like that. I can't imagine, for real. What the hell?
Exactly.
Why?
And back to what I was saying, what differentiates you, not you personally, but you and me, is that while you might be talking shit behind my back, I will talk shit about you behind your back, but I will also talk shit right to your face. I will say some shit behind your back, and you find out, and you come up to me and be like, yo, Adonis, I heard you said X about me, what's going on? And I'll be like, well, other people will be like, what? No, I didn't say that. I'll be like, yeah, 100% I did say that.
It's
and guess what else? I'll be like, hey man, you're a thunder cunt and a bitch and a pussy and all this other shit, and I'll just go off on you, because that's just how I am. And people tell me I'm an asshole for it, and I'm like, me personally, I'd rather someone who's an asshole, who's honest with me and tells me what they really think, versus a two-faced bitch who's gonna talk shit about me and spread rumors, but then when they see me in person, they act like I'm Jesus or something.
Yeah, it's a clown world we live in, kind of low key. It starts to really decipher all this stuff, right? So like I said, man, it's something that you can't really stop. I feel like as you think about bigger people, right? Artists and big influencers, right? Think they probably get that hate that you're probably getting sometimes, times 10, times 100, times 1,000. And it doesn't matter what they do, bro. The fact they're just doing something in their career and part of it is online, they just get hate. So I've learned to develop a mindset to just, focus on the people that fuck with me and show that love and bring everybody up. And whoever doesn't, well, you can figure it out, because there's lots, think of this it's like a new world, we're living in with this digital connections and iPhones, right? If you really think about it, we're in 2024 right now. When did all of this start coming into play? 2009, 2010, right, with Instagram and connectivity. Then it started getting more mass adoption in 2014, right, something like that. So it's literally been 10 years. That's nothing. 10 years is a drop in the bucket. So if you really think about it, what's going on right now is a lot of people are adapting to this new wave of technology. And of course, as it's something so brand new and so like it hits us really hard psychologically, it's not going to hit us the best in the beginning. And I feel like what's happening now is that a lot of people are just adjusting, and just us as humans, we adapt to our environment, right? So I feel like we are hit with something so new that we really are adapting to this new environment we're living in, if you really think about it. You know, imagine us without these devices right now. Where would we be? You know, things would just be very, very different. You know, we wouldn't be having this podcast. Maybe those discussions you were having earlier in those arguments or with the girls wouldn't be as prevalent, right? Or this girl going through a breakup, or this guy, right? Because nowadays everything's accessible, you know, and it's really crazy because, okay, so for like a regular girl, right? This is a really interesting one. A regular girl can post anything, just some regular pictures with her friends, and she'll have like 50 DMs. Like, she might not tell you, but that's the fact. That's a scientific fact. She'll have at least, you know, a couple dozen DMs or attention, right? A guy can work as hard as he can and, you know, work on himself and do the best that he can for his family or himself, etc. And at most, he might get a DM or two, or maybe if he's more attractive, get a couple more. If he's an influencer, maybe more, right? You know, but the attentions of each of the sexes, right, male and female, are so like, you know, different right now that it seems like we're going through this this issue right now where women are getting too much attention. And that's messing up with their psychology, and then men are not getting enough attention from women, at least straight women, and it's causing dissonance. It's causing a big disruption in the natural field of things. If you really get deep into this, right, it's something I've noticed over the past couple of years. It's more prevalent in the U.S., right, in the Western world. I feel like where it's more traditional, I feel like in the Eastern world is not as much bullshit. But that is why, like you said earlier, this girl going through a breakup, the other one like fucking, I don't even know, like can't pay attention to anything or whoever, right? It's because of these things that's going on. It's the insane amount of like dopamine that's reaching their brains. It's the insane amount of, you know what I'm saying? Attention and things like that. Nobody, like a lot of people can't focus, you know, and it's not good. But I feel like things are gonna get better because we as humans, we evolve. That's one, and two is we adapt. We adapt to our environment and conditions, no matter what the events are. So even though maybe things, if you guys really research this, maybe things look kind of shitty for guys and they got to work 10 times harder, it's not as bad as it seems. You just got to do the right thing in life, right? So if you're that lazy person that's really just kind of not doing anything in life, or doing drugs all day, or not really, you know, doing what you're supposed to, man, then yeah, it's going to be tough. But if you just sit down and do the right thing in life, you know, have a good diet, be with the right friends, right? You know, work out a little bit, you know, just do the right positive things. You'll see how like you'll start to attract more of what you want, right? And that's really the best way I've been able to like break it down in this like new society we're kind of living in, which I'm not sure if a lot of people know, but there has been a big shift in the way we interact. So that's just kind of something I wanted to point out and tell the people, you know. But you can take it from there.
Absolutely. And I'll say one biggest difference between me and Ace, I've noticed, you know, I'm a very social person. I usually get along with people. Then when they get to know me and they hear my podcast or they hear my beliefs, or even if it's not even that, maybe they're just, you know, two-faced and fake, we start to fight. Or me and Ace have a situation where, you know, we have our friend group, and there are some people in our friend group that are not getting along right now, including myself. There are people in our friend group that I do not get along with. And this battle's been going on for months. The entire time, Ace has been getting along with every single one of them. And I'm like, clearly, there is something about me that I need to work on, because how is it that everyone, including myself, is fighting each other, but then Ace is over here just vibing with everybody, and nobody has an issue with him whatsoever.
Well, maybe that's something we could talk about right here. And to be honest, I don't think it's a huge shift, but I think it's something we discussed earlier. And it goes back to the concept that I like to stick to is if there's a storm going on with somebody, I wouldn't want to add on to the storm, even if, like, let's say they say some shit about me and be like, yeah, man, fuck you, bro, I'm a fucking, like, you're a fucking bitch or all this shit. I think it's better to put my energy into something else, like maybe, developing the podcast or something like that. But I mean, just, tell me, like, what's something that happened with somebody that, did you say anything against them and that caused that storm with them, or you were just chilling and they just started, like, attacking you for no reason?
I mean, a perfect example of this, which we spoke about earlier, is that Emily girl, which, I mean, we were talking about this earlier today, but, like, I feel that I did give her a chance to sort of back off, I cut ties with her, and then she added me back, and she added me again. And then I was like, hey, fuck you. And then she kept adding me back until today, last night, and I just blew up at her, and I was like, listen, this is what happened, this is what you did, fuck you. And I know other people who would have been in my situation, and they would have told her the exact same things that I did without all the excessive cursing and without, blowing up on her. So I will say, and I'm not admitting that this is one of my flaws, but I am saying that this is a personality trait. One of my personality traits is that I will be nice to you, but if you do piss me off enough, I will blow up in your face, I will curse you out, and I will douse the fire with gasoline, so to say.
Yeah.
Which some people say that they like that about me, and that it shows,
that you don't put up with shit.
That I don't put up with shit.
But what's going to happen, this is the, just so you know, all the possibilities, right? That's a good thing to have, that you don't, put up with shit. But unfortunately, like we said earlier, the people, right, at the bottom of the barrel, what do? They gossip, they talk shit, they say, tell their person this. Sometimes it's even fake too. Like I said earlier, it's a clown world. Sometimes they'll make something up about you.
Which has happened to me.
Yeah, it's happened to me too. And, especially in, like, the college town scenes and stuff like that, is half the people are in a good maturity level, but the other half are just not there yet. Maybe they'll figure it out one day. But what happens when you do that is two things. Yeah, maybe somebody will just understand, right, that they fucked up or whatever, right? But the second thing that will happen is that they'll take that and they'll put that rage and tell all their friends and stuff like that, and cause, like, a storm. Remember I said that earlier?
Yes, exactly.
So by you outraging, and I understand, respectfully so, that you're pissed off at some stupid people. There's a lot of fucking stupid people. There's too many stupid people, right? In my opinion, I like to just let them know, okay, they're definitely in the wrong. Let's say they're in the wrong, right? I wouldn't just burst out at them, I just kind of be like, all right, I'm just not going to talk to this person, ignore them. Let them live their own miserable world, and me focus on my goals. There's more friends to be made. There's more connections to be made. There's a huge world here. There's a lot of people that are willing to listen to you and connect with you, right? And it's really the way it is, man. It's an interesting world we live in, but as many haters as you have and I'll have, whatever, there's just as many supporters and lovers, and we can, the good example is my homie Rollin, big artist, makes amazing music from Tallahassee out here. Did the Baby Shark song, went viral everywhere, You know, he has so much love and support from his fans, but naturally, there's always going to be haters, right? Sound, bro. I've been here for a couple years, man. And there's cool people, but there's a lot of fake people and clowns.
Oh yeah,
and it's just nice to decipher. You know, I'll let them know, bro. Like, there's always going to be people that love you, but there's always haters too. It's a real thing.
Of course.
And can't let that affect you, man. You really can't. You don't even lash out to them, bro. Just let them live their miserable world. Don't even add fuel to the fire. You don't need to, bro. I'm telling you, there's too many people. So I did go to college. I'd be like a senior plus. I'm a little older, but I actually started my own like business. I do crypto, social media marketing. I made some decent money back 2021. I invested a good amount of money, but I make music too on the side. So I took the crypto money and invested it. Nice. And you know, I have a property here, and I've known Adonis for a couple of years. So
another story I think will be interesting for our viewers I want to bring up.
Yeah,
there was a girl that I was talking to, and you know, this is one of the few girls in my life that I was actually just friends with, and you know, it's the first week of September right now as we're recording this. Everyone's coming back. I texted her. I'm like, hey, I want to see you. And this girl sends me a bunch of vomit emojis. And I texted her back, I'm like, what the fuck? And she texts me back, she goes, stay calm. I'm like, stay calm? Like, you just sent me a bunch of vomit emojis. I texted her back, I'm like, hey, fuck you, bitch. And then unadded her immediately. And then I took a screenshot of it and I posted it on my story and I said, see, it's girls like this that is why so many guys today are scared to approach women.
I think the way I like to think about it is think in abundance, right? There's going to be a lot of clowns. There's a clown show, right? Think in abundance, and whoever matches your energy, your vibes, right, is the ones you should be talking to or getting to know better, right? As soon as you got that throw up emoji, as soon as you got that emoji, man, I would have just like blocked her, just kind of move on with my life. Cause that's how you know it's like the opposite of what you want. You feel me? And it's just like, it's whack, right? I mean, shit, I might have gotten some bad emojis too. You know, we all get something here and there. It's just a life lesson, right? You just live and learn, and just don't let it affect you too much, man. You know, there's more women in this world than there are guys, scientifically, right? Population-wise, especially in Tallahassee. It's hilarious.
Oh, yeah, bro, it's funny. I mean,
it seems like there's 4 girls for every guy, to be honest. I love it.
I mean, honestly, and again, it comes with reactions. Like, you know, I would have reacted differently if she was like, oh, sorry, not interested, or be like, you know, I don't see you that way. And then I would have been like, oh, like, when I said I want to see you, I meant as friends, because, you know, we're friends and I haven't seen you in a while. Or maybe for argument's sake, say I did like this girl, and she said, hey, sorry, I'm not interested. I might have been hurt, but, you know, it's better than just being a straight up bitch about it.
I think what happens is a couple of these girls, and the same can go for guys too, but, I mean, I feel like you're mature too. What's happening too is, at least for you, what's happening is that a lot of them are lacking a little bit of emotional intelligence, and the patience to really get to understand and know somebody, right, is what's really going on. And there's just a lot of just quick dopamine hits, which means going out, drinking nonstop, right, doing a lot of these in a cycle. And sometimes you got to put that on pause if you really want to like somebody and get to know them, right? I feel like sometimes you got to put that pedestal of constantly, you know, it's not saying you should stop going out, right? There's nothing wrong with having some drinks and having some fun with your friends. But if you lack the maturity to, like, really, you know, let's say there's somebody, right, you talk to, if you lack the maturity of just, hey, you know, taking this day to get to know them, if that's physically impossible for you to do, which is the majority of people that I meet here, and women and etc., then maybe they're not the right person. That's a very simple way to see it, you know? If they cannot take one day, right, out of the 7 days in a week to do whatever you want, right, to just hang out, get to know somebody, which is the majority, right? Key words, then that is not it, and that is not going to work out, right? It's a maturity thing. I mean, I feel like some people at a younger age, they can't, they can't do it. I feel like it's not possible.
Yeah. And I mean, back to what I was saying earlier about how, like, right now we have issues in our friend group, and despite everyone fighting, including myself, you seem to be the only one who's getting along with everybody. And, what's sad is that this isn't the first time my old friend group, I'm from Jacksonville, Florida. I have my old high school friend group.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone fights each other except this one guy. His name is Jaden. He's one of my best friends. The entire time I've known him, since I was 15 years old, even to this day, everyone is fighting, including myself, and he is the one guy who does not fight with a single person. Even when he screws up, he manages to get along with everybody, and I mean everybody loves this guy. And, now I'm older, I don't live in Jacksonville, so I don't see him as much. Now I've got people like Ace Prodigy, who, again, gets along with everybody while I don't. And I'm like, wow, like, clearly I have some issues.
I wouldn't say it's anything, like, major. It's more like just going with the flow and just avoiding the people that aren't going to be there for you.
Yeah.
Right? And taking, time with the people who are there for you.
And you know what I've noticed, too? Let's use my friend Jaden as an example. I really respect him. He's one of my best friends. People describe him as someone who's very nice. Actually, like, he takes the Bible's lessons to heart, and he actually...
The Bible is powerful, man. That stuff is
absolutely
very real. Like, if you guys have never, looked into the Bible, but there's a reason that text is very sacred and is passed on over thousands of years, is because I feel like humans, even though as we evolve, a lot of us go through similar issues in our lifetimes, right? Whether it's our ancestors or our ancestors before that or a future offspring, etc. There's a common denominator that is written in that text for a reason. It's powerful. It makes a lot of sense. I've read a couple, lines here and there. I wouldn't say I've read too much, but it's there and people read it for a reason, is because when people are going through something, that something's not working in their lives, that usually the text has the solution or just has what you should do and the lifestyle you should be living, right? It's very difficult to explain, but there's a reason it's there,
For the longest time, I didn't think that God existed. And in this year has been one of the toughest years of my entire life,
Tough year for everybody, man. Same for me. It's been a rough year.
Absolutely. I guess
that's where you gotta have faith. You gotta have faith that I feel like there is a higher power that sometimes you can't really see, right? In your face, it's not physical sometimes, right? It's not right in front of you. So the way I break it down is, if you have faith in something and you have a goal in mind and you are, consistent with it and positive about it, eventually it will come true. And, whether that's God or science or quantum mechanics, right? Is obviously like up for debate, but there's definitely a power out there that is real. And you just have to have faith and belief in it, because how else would we be here and all this amazing stuff be here, right? It's almost like magic if you really break it down. So that's really the best way I see these things. You really got to take a step back, really sit down and, really think about things, right? A lot of people, remember I told you earlier, the least amount of people, it's like a pyramid. The least amount of people in the world are the ones taking a step back and actually thinking or creating or really questioning anything. You should question things,
That's probably like 2% of
It's
the
very
entire.
bad. I wish it was more.
Of the entire population, probably
I
like
wish
2%.
more people would question and just really think about things on a deeper level, because there's a lot to question and analyze. It's really interesting. There's so much to, you can talk about so much from there. So,
Honestly,
Yeah.
and yeah, back to the whole like God thing. For the longest time, I didn't believe God didn't exist,
yeah.
just because we don't have the science to prove it. And if you watch the Marvel Cinematic Universe, one of the main things that they say is that magic is just advanced science that we don't understand yet. And as I'm not going to go into the details of what's happened in 2024 this year, but as my life has kind of like become more advanced and unfolded, there's been obvious signs that God exists and that God is in my favor. At the same time,
you start to realize it as you get older, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
At the same time, there are also signs that the devil exists.
Ooh.
And that the devil has a tug on me. And God has a good grasp on my friend Jaden. However, while I do now believe that God exists, I also feel that the devil has a better grasp on me. And the reason I say this is because when people describe me, I've noticed when people describe Ace or Jaden or any of my other friends that when everyone's fighting with each other, but they seem to be the ones that stick out and everybody loves them no matter what they do, God has a good grasp on them. When people describe me, they describe me as nice until you piss me off. I mean, there are people that will tell you that even the smallest thing, and I will dose the fire with gasoline and make it explode. That right there is not an act of God. That right there is an act of a demon.
Well, that's what I was saying. I think like I said earlier, is you can't. In my opinion, the best thing you can do when you have a person, right, like you told me before, that doesn't like you, etc., is to just shave it off. But don't add more fuel to the fire, because then, like I told you, a lot of these people at the bottom of the barrel, they're going to start to spread something, whether it's real or fake, and it just turns into a little storm that you probably never even wanted, right, to begin with.
Exactly, yes.
So that's where it comes from. But you got to learn to just balance, like, chakras. The chakras, there's like 7 chakras in the body. And you can definitely find this on YouTube. I don't know it by heart, but if you balance all your chakras, you're supposed to be more balanced with nature and the world around you, right? And to be honest, it took me like a few years to figure it out, because I was also off balance when I was younger. Until you get to the point where you get on track with your path, right? And when you're on track with your path, I mean, the doors open up for you as the days go by. That's the best way I can explain it. It's almost like magic too, right? But you'd be surprised. It's a real thing. And what's happening, man, is that you're interacting with other people that are not in tune with their chakras and with their alignment, right? It's called alignment. And when you get closer to having that balance, right? And everybody can do it. You just got to take a step back and really, really focus and concentrate on what you want and what you don't want, right? You'll see that your life starts to change. And, the better things awaiting you will come. You just got to have patience. That's another one. A lot of people don't have patience for that one. But that's really the best way I could, describe it. Right? These are things that is within you that you got to balance, and it's not something physical that you can actually touch or smack, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So that's just a really good point I wanted to point out, not just for me or Adonis, but to a lot of people, right? Because man, the world's not in the best state right now. It's pretty fucked, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know thanks to Joe Biden, I'm about to get political here. Well, not really. I'm going to save the politics for the next episode. But
Yeah.
to quote one of my friends from Tallahassee, he said, because I don't have the best relationship with some of my family members. And one thing that my friend said to me, he said, it might not be your fault, but it is your problem. And he was essentially telling me that, the actions of certain people might affect me, but, they kind of left me in the dust, and so now it is my problem. I know that there are demons inside of me. A lot of that has to do with my past, which I'm not ready to discuss on the live podcast yet. But I will say one thing you and I were talking about earlier is that my reaction to people does have a lot to do with me. So, while Emily may have kept bothering me over and over again, and her reaction, or
it's called, and I also went through this when I was younger. It's called letting go.
Exactly.
Okay, it's a very simple one. The art of letting go,
which I do not have.
Oh, I was the same way when I was younger too, man. I would not let go to certain people that I liked or whatever, and it would cause more issues than
necessary.
Yes, and I think that's what is the issue, right? That's the problem right there. Let go. That's it. Fuck it. It's a whole new world. You wake up the next day. There's new things to challenge, new people to meet, new opportunities, and that's the way I've seen it, man.
And that's the thing with if you listen to a previous episode of the podcast about a girl named Ashley, where again she fucked me over and I just went full on demon mode on her. In part it is their fault because when I cut someone off or when I don't like someone and I leave them alone and I show them clear signs that I don't like them, but then they keep bothering me, it is their fault in a sense that they know I don't like them and they're provoking me to the point where I do snap at them and I just go full on demon mode on them. But at the same time, it is my body and it is my mind. And because of that case, it is also equally my fault when on the third, fourth, fifth strike that I do unleash my demons. And my most recent situation with Emily where I just cursed her out and I was like, hey, you're a fucking bitch and I'm gonna block you because I don't want to see you ever again. That while it is half of it is her fault for provoking me, the other half of it is equally my fault because at the end, I'm the one who decided to unleash my demons towards her, where people that I know personally, like Jaden or Ace, for example, would have just ignored it and found a way to get the exact same message across while letting her know that hey, that's not how you're going to treat me.
Think about it like this. I just had this come up, but the world is more like a reflection of your inner self and your outer self. It's like a reflection. Right? It's like a mirror. If you really think about it, it's like a mirror. So if you're in a pissed off mood, right, you're going to reflect that to the outer world and that energy is going to show, right? Think about it like this. It's really interesting. It's not a physical thing. And then if you're feeling good or in a very euphoric mood, the world, you're going to reflect that to the world and it's going to show in people's responses towards you, right? Your mirror, your world, right? That's what happens. So when you are in that state where you're really angry and you're throwing that anger out there and you're like, fuck this person, a certain part of the world, right, very small amount, it's going to reflect that, right? Reflect it. It's like a mirror. You know how a mirror reflects sunlight and the sunlight reflects it back and it causes heat?
Yep.
That's literally what happens. So as I figured that out, right, throughout the couple years of just, going out and living life, I realized to just take things with a grain of salt and focus on the things that are really actually important towards your goals and career, is that's going to be what pays off in the long term, and it's going to be what makes you feel better and have you a better reflection of the world around you. Is that a better way to put it, I guess?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to believe that God and the devil did not exist. And in this year, so much shit happened, you know. A lot of good things happened, but a lot of bad things happened to me also. And in a lot of those things, there were signs that showed me that both the God and the devil both exist. But it also showed me that while God has been trying to guide me, the Satan himself has been the one who has had a firm grasp on me. And I kind of have a gut feeling that God is trying to get me out of his grasp. And that at the end of the year, God is going to bring me out of this hellhole, so to speak. Or, for all I know, this could just be the tequila in my system talking.
I think you're going to be fine, bro. I think everybody goes on their life path where towards self-improvement. I think that's what you call it. And if we go back to the like immaturity and craziness of like people, right, that are younger, I think what happens is that it takes a couple years of maturity and kind of hits to the face, right, like mistakes, to realize like they got to be on a better life path, right, a little bit more focused path.
I mean, you know what they say, in order to be old and wise, you first have to be young and stupid.
Oh yeah, and like I said, I'm telling you this because I've been through a lot of bullshit, you know, and that's probably, we'll save that for another podcast, but I've been through a lot of shit where it's kind of toughened me up and made me sharp as a fucking eagle, and it's just matured me to the point where I know exactly clear as water what's right from wrong and what's in the middle and what's the gray area, right? The entire circle. I mean, obviously I make mistakes too, but you know what I'm saying? Like I'm very sharpened with all this type of shit. And it's really led me in a more positive path. And I think at least the past year or two for me has been very transformative, you know, at least for me. I had, a couple of my songs I've been working on actually go viral. People starting to recognize my achievements and the work. And it's very exciting because when you've been thinking of a goal for so long and you put it out there and recognition, you actually make it come true, right? Doesn't matter what it is you do. I think it's a fantastic feeling, and it reflects in who you are as a person, right? It goes back to that mirror that I was talking about. So yeah,
Like one of my favorite songs, Live and Learn.
Yeah, live and learn. I think that's what's happening here, especially in college town. I think it happens live action, right? Every single day.
Oh my god, College Town. Bro, go ahead and cancel your Netflix subscription, because I am telling you, living in College Town, there is drama every single day. I mean, you and I saw it today with just, what was it, 3 girls?
Yeah.
Oh my god. One's going through a breakup. One has a boyfriend that lives all the way in Italy.
Yeah.
Bro, like literally, I was like, hey, let me get your number. She's like, oh, I can't have a boyfriend that I saw last 6 months ago. She lives all the way in Italy. I'm sorry, what the fuck? Like, do you actually have a boyfriend, or are you just making shit up to reject me?
Literally, everybody's going through something in one way, shape, or form. It's very hectic out here as well. Especially in out here in Tallahassee, in the community. Everybody's, like I told you before, everybody's still figuring things out. They're drinking. The balance is not there yet for everybody. Where I feel like me over the years, like I've kind of figured things out. And sure, many people have as well. But it's definitely on the, what do you call it? Lesser side. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's more
I mean, there's such a difference between 18 and 21-year-olds. I mean, I know it's a 3-year difference. Yeah. But
big
now
difference.
Looking back,
oh my God, it's night and day.
I mean, when I was in high school, I was in Jacksonville. I had my core friend group. I thought I was set to life. Next thing you know, I'm 17 and in Tallahassee. My life has changed forever. I turned 18, became a club rat. And, I thought, I was the shit. Now, 3 years later, I'm looking back on my life when I was 18 years old.
You start
and
to
I'm
humble
like,
yourself a little bit. You're like, damn, there's a lot more work to put in.
Exactly.
Things to do.
And I look at my 18-year-old self and I go, holy shit, I was a fucking idiot. And you know, right now I think I'm the shit. And I think to myself, well, if I think I was an idiot 3 years ago, does this mean that when I'm 25, I'm going to think I was a complete idiot at 21? When I'm 30, am I going to think I was a complete idiot at 25? Once again, it's that mindset of you live and you learn.
Yeah, I think if you're on the right path, once you get it all sorted out and you know what you got to do, you won't think you're an idiot in a couple of years. It's more like you're climbing the mountain, you know? There's goals to achieve, and if you want to be who you want to be in life, you have to climb that mountain that most won't, right? Most people won't, but I think it's very, there's light at the end of the tunnel, so it's always beneficial, whether it's for you or your family.
You know,
yeah.
You know what I've noticed too? I honestly feel embarrassed for those who knew me my freshman year, because I definitely was an idiot back then. I mean, I think you met me when I was in my freshman year, because we've been friends for a few years now.
I was pretty dumb too a couple years ago, man. Yeah.
My friend Mason, he's a good friend of mine. He's known me since I moved to Tallahassee, so he's known me for quite a while. You know what I've noticed is, despite all the people that I fought with over the past 3 years, the OGs seem to be the ones who always stick around. You know, you, Mason, Jaden, who I've known since I was 15 years old. And he still remains one of my best friends today, even though I don't talk to him every day. You know, there used to be a time where we used to hang out every day.
Yeah.
And obviously, I don't get to talk to him every day anymore. But when I do see him, when I do talk to him over the phone, it's just like old times. It's like I never left that neighborhood.
Yeah. It's only going to be a couple of them, man, that are going to be stick with you and be there for you all the time. You know, it's unrealistic to expect everybody you meet be there for you, because, like I said, everybody has their own chaos going on in their world and things they got to do. It's hard to focus, right?
Yeah.
Like you told me, you know, the whole ADHD thing. It's hard for many people to focus nowadays.
And so, I kind of feel like I have ADHD, or at least I thought I did, until we met those girls today, where they were so unfocused, the girl couldn't even give me her damn phone number.
There's levels to it. I definitely got to check that out. It's interesting, but there's levels to this ADHD stuff.
Bro, I thought I had ADHD, and then I met that girl today, and she was so unfocused, she couldn't even look at me for 2 seconds straight, and I thought, wow, maybe I'm really not as bad as I thought I would be. And, you know, I kind of feel like we are where we need to be today, you know.
Yeah.
We live and we learn, we grow, we adapt, we change.
Yeah.
God or the devil, whoever you choose to side with, or whoever you're forced to side with, they have a plan for you.
Yeah. And just to kind of, I guess, wrap this one up for now, because I feel like there's a lot, there's a lot to talk about. Man, you have to have faith, right? In that, if you're going through something, at least you're not dead, right? Stuff like that. You have to have faith that there are better things on the way, but you also have to put in your work and your effort into it, And it's not going to come like magic or come from the sky. It's an equal balance of faith and putting in the work, right? It's both, and when both combine, there's no beating it. So.
And one thing I do want to leave the audience with before we end this episode is definitely be yourself, even if you're not the best version of yourself today as you will be in, say, 5 years from now. Yeah. People will hate you no matter what. And that is something that I've realized. I did hide part of who I was when I first came to Tallahassee because I wanted people to like me. And I realized quickly that people are going to hate you no matter what. So you might as well be the version of yourself today, whether it's the best version of yourself or the worst version of yourself, you might as well be the worst version of yourself today and see who sticks around versus pretending to be your best every day or pretending to be someone that you're not just to get a bunch of fake losers to like you who are going to ditch you sooner or later anyway.
I agree with you. Pretty much, like you said, you do not need to have, a million friends. You just have to have your circle that trusts you and loves you. And, don't be afraid of being yourself, because what's going to happen is you're going to attract that type of energy, those types of people, maybe not in one day. But sooner or later, you're going to attract those people that have similar mindset to you. Because there's so many people out here that have different mindsets, whether they like this or that, or they like art, or they like something else, right? There's all types of interests going on, and once you see that click, I mean, it's good from there, right?
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah. And I think this was really nice talk to have, man. I'm not gonna lie. I think it's good not just for us, but for the people, that are listening. So.
I honestly, I feel like you and I have so many diverse subjects that we could probably bring you on for quite a few more episodes.
Oh yeah, I got lots to talk about, man. There's a lot to talk about, whether it's about me or the world or just people in general or what's going on. I feel like the public should be aware that things have changed, and just awareness and understanding, right? Instead of living your life in la la land, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And well, with that, I guess we'll wrap it up. This is the Tallanasty podcast, although it's really not about Tallanasty anymore. It's more about our controversial beliefs. But we're gonna stick with that title because guess what, bitch? I live in Tallahassee, so. Anyway. This is Adonis, and I'm accompanied by Ace Prodigy, for current music producer, music artist, crypto investor. And stay tuned for the next episode. I got some ideas for the next one. I kind of want to get political and talk about Trump versus Harris and Biden. So stay tuned, y'all. This is the Tallanasty Podcast. Peace out.
Shawty, 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 she all up on my body, yeah. Counting all this money, my signal's feeling spotty, yeah. Vodka and tequila, I pour me another one. Step by step, I catch you in your dirty little lies. 'Cause I know you don't have to tell me anymore, 'cause we never were anything at all. Shawty, I found you out and you're guilty, guilty, guilty. I know when you're bleeding. A whole lot of people and they tell me one by one. Ooh, you, 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 you. I catch a hoe by the toe. Oh, you're looking at my stories. Oh no, stop calling my phone. No, should've thought about this long ago. Shawty, she all up on my body, yeah. Counting all this money, my signal's feeling spotty, yeah. Vodka and tequila, I pour me another one. Step by step, I catch you in your dirty little lies. 'Cause I know you don't have to tell me anymore, 'cause we never were anything at all. Shawty, I found you out and you're guilty,